Three questions that we get from mothers and families who, in a lot of instances, are afraid to initially reach out to a birth injury or medical malpractice attorney to ask these questions. You want to know what I'm getting at here? Stay with me as I share with you this very important information. Hello, I'm Marcus Boston, and I am a childbirth injury and medical malpractice attorney practicing law here in the state of Maryland, and I would like to quickly talk with you today about three questions that we get from families when they are thinking about hiring a birth injury attorney. And for some of these families, it can be hard to talk about some of these things because of the private nature of the questions. And so for today's video, I would like to get in depth and I would like to talk with you about these topics. And the first one being, and we get this question a lot from mothers, and this question deals with, well, Mr. Boston, am I a bad mother because I am reaching out to a birth injury attorney and I'm trying to get help for my child? Now, the short answer, in my opinion, no, you are not a bad mother because you are looking to try to get assistance and help for your child who may have suffered a brain injury or some other type of birth injury at the hands of a hospital or a doctor. And to understand where this question is coming from, a lot of it deals with just how we are raised and how we look at things in society. And for a lot of people, we are raised to take care of ourselves. We are raised to make sure that no one else is in our private affairs and doing for us. We are socialized to take responsibility for our own actions. And that is true in a lot of cases. But we also have a concept that we have growing up, and that is, if you cause problems or if you cause injury or you destroy someone else's property or something like that, you are held responsible for those actions. And I'll give you a quick example of that. Growing up, my brother and I, we used to like to play around in the neighborhood. And if there was ever a situation or if there was ever a time that we were throwing the ball around or whatever, and that ball went into our neighbor's yard, and if that ball destroyed or broke something in our neighbor's yard, my father, he would go on over and he would talk to our neighbor and he would fix what we broke. And that's how it is in society. That's what we do. When we injure or when we cause harm to others in society, what we do is we take responsibility for that. And so if you are a mother and you're dealing with something like this in regards to your baby has suffered a brain injury or some other type of injury, you are not a bad mother because you are looking to the future and you are looking to hold those who did this to your baby, to hold them responsible. The second question that we get, and this comes from parents, and this is one that is definitely understandable, and that question deals with, well, Mr. Boston, I understand that medical malpractice and birth injury cases, they can be quite expensive, and we just don't have the money for it. We don't have the money to hire an attorney by the hour to represent us in this. And so before I get too deep into this question, I want to make sure that you understand that you speak specifically to the attorney that you are looking to work with about this issue. But in general, in Maryland, what we use when we're talking about a birth trauma or medical malpractice or even a personal injury case, we use a tool to help families out in situations like this. And that tool is called a contingency fee agreement. And what this agreement does is it will allow the attorneys, it will allow them to front the cost of a birth injury or medical malpractice case, and it will let the attorneys take the cost and their fee at the end of the case. So if you get a settlement or if you resolve the case through a jury trial or some other method, what will happen under a contingency fee agreement is based on the terms, the attorney will take their fee and their costs out of that settlement or the recovery. Now, like I said, you want to make sure that if you are getting ready to enter into a contingency fee agreement, that you understand all of the terms before signing. If you have questions, be sure to speak with the attorney about the terms and about your questions before signing. And the third and final question that we get a lot, and this one comes from individuals who are, and usually mothers who are in, let's say, mommy groups, or they're in other groups online with parents or children who have disabilities, or they're in special needs groups. And the question comes up, it's like, well, Mr. Boston, how do I go about trying to reach out or trying to help another family or a friend of mine? And the answer to that is there's no harm in letting them know that, look, there are individuals that can help you or help your family in regards to a situation like this. You don't have to get into the details if you've got a case going or you've resolved your case. You don't have to get into the details of your case, but there is, in general, there's not going to be any problems just saying, okay, well, you know, there are individuals out here who might be able to help you in regards to that. If you're bound by a confidentiality agreement or something like that, I would suggest that you go ahead and speak with your attorney if you've got other questions about that type of issue, to speak with that attorney about it before moving forward with something like that. But in general, like I said, in general, there's not going to be any harm of saying, well, you know what, Miss Such and Such, it's okay if you want to, you can reach out to attorney X or whoever in regards to what's going on with your family and with your situation. So why have I taken the time today to talk with you about this really important information? Because more than likely, if you are watching this video today, you have these questions. More than likely, you are on the internet right now because maybe your baby is not meeting certain neonatal milestones and you have these questions. You're researching in the privacy of your own home or somewhere else, and you're trying to find answers. Maybe your baby was born blue, or your baby had seizures, or you've been given a cerebral palsy diagnosis, or the doctors have spoken with you about this term called HIE, and you've got questions and you would like to speak with someone further. If you have all of this going on and you would like to talk with me, this is what I invite you to do. And remember, taking this next action, it costs you absolutely nothing. And what is that action? To pick up the phone and give me a call. I can be reached at 301-850-4832, or if you prefer, you can reach me toll free at 1-833-4BABY-HELP. You can also reach out to me by email to medicalinjury@bostonlawllc.com. Guys, I answer birth trauma and birth injury questions like this all the time. I speak with families about issues like this all the time, and I will be happy to take some time and listen to your story. All right, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm one of the childbirth injury and medical malpractice attorneys practicing law at Boston Law Group, LLC, and we will see you next time. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.